The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, what a weekend our Prime Minister had in the UK hobnobbing with the rich and famous. He seemed to have forgotten his mask a few times, and he won't have to quarantine like everyone else when he gets home, because after all, there's one set of rules for our Prime Minister and another set of rules for everyone else. But while he was enjoying his wine and cheese back here in Canada, our economy is shedding jobs, supply chains are crumbling, and housing prices are skyrocketing. Instead of trying to impress his celebrity friends, why isn't the Prime Minister focused on getting Canadians back to work?
Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if the Conservatives really care about the Canadian economy, if they really care about Canadian workers, and if they really care about Canadian businesses, let me suggest one simple and very practical thing that they can do, and that is support Bill C-30, the Budget Implementation Bill. This essential legislation extends the wage subsidy, rent support, and the CRB. We need it to finish the fight against COVID and to punch our way out of the COVID recession. The Conservatives need to support it.
The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Well, the Prime Minister's so embroiled in scandal, it's no doubt he's not thinking about the economic storm that's brewing. He's been too busy rewarding his friends at the We Foundation, appointing Liberal donors as judges.
I'm going to interrupt. I believe we have a point of order. Nous avons un rappel au règlement. Il y a un problème
Monsieur le
technique.
Président. Oui, en raison.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The volume between the English and French, rather the English and French channels are coming through at the same time with the interpretation, so I'm having a hard time hearing. Okay, now is this...
The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition, I'll let you take it from the top.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Well, as I was saying, our Prime Minister is so embroiled in scandal, it's not a doubt that he's not thinking about the economic storm that's brewing here. He's been very busy rewarding his friends at the We Foundation, appointing Liberal donors as judges, and covering up sexual misconduct in the military. Now he's got no time left to deal with issues like people losing their jobs and businesses shutting down.
Start again.
This question sooner or later, I'm sure. We'll have to interrupt the Honourable Member.
All right, very good.
The Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Well, thank you, and I'm sure the government will have a very substantial answer, because this will have been the third time they've heard the question, which is, of course the Prime Minister isn't thinking about the economy because he's so busy dealing with all of his scandals, whether it's the We scandal, whether it's appointing his Liberal donors as judges, or covering up sexual misconduct in the military. Let's be honest, Mr. Speaker, it's hard work for the Prime Minister to put the interests of Canadians first when he's so focused on polishing up his own image and helping out his Liberal friends.
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let's talk about who is really concerned about supporting Canadian jobs and Canadian businesses, and who instead prefers to play partisan games. Our government is working hard today in the House to pass the budget, which will extend the wage subsidy and rent support and create a new Canada Recovery Hiring Credit. That's what Canada needs, Mr. Speaker, and it is the Conservatives who are blocking it.
Honourable Deputy Leader of the Opposition.
Well, Mr. Speaker, you're not going to believe this, but this weekend, a top officer with direct connections to the Vance investigation was golfing with General Vance. Not only, Mr. Speaker, does this show zero respect for Operation Honour and zero respect for victims, it shows there's zero respect for this defence minister among the top brass. The minister has refused to stand up for victims and continues to cover up bad behaviour of his buddies. When will the minister admit the top ranks of the military is fast becoming a shambles, and it's a direct result of this minister's failures?
The Honourable Deputy Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our members and employees deserve the institution in which they can have full confidence, and we're working to deliver on the reforms that will bolster our members' confidence in the military justice system. The Acting Chief of Defence Staff has been reviewing this matter very closely, and it falls within his responsibility in the chain of command. The Acting Chief of Defence has informed me that the Vice Chief of Defence Staff is no longer in his role effective immediately, and our government is working towards a complete institutional culture change in the Department of National Defence and the Canadian Armed Forces. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.